Welcome back, guys. On this episode, we're back with this S&S Super E car. We got the kit in, got everything all cleaned up, and we're gonna put it back together and set the base settings for it. And then before we put it on the motorcycle, let me get you turned down here where you can see what I'm doing. There we go. That should be better. This is your float bowl here. It's the main part of your carburetor, main body. I'm not going to replace the main shaft and the butterfly. Everything in there looks good. I got it all cleaned up. It snaps back like it should. Everything's good. I'm just going to cleaned up the jets. I'm going to put new gaskets on it and O-rings and go from there. So let's go ahead and start with putting the emulsion tube in. That should be. Again, you just want to snug this stuff into these. You don't want to strip out that aluminum. Got the main jet cleaned out real good, so we'll put it back in. Make sure you get a screwdriver that fits good, because it will mess up these jets. Just snug them. Nothing needs to be super tight on these carbs. Okay. Now we'll go ahead and put in this one. Oh, I put it in the right way, huh? There we go. Snug it. And go ahead and let's just go ahead and set the gasket down over all of this. Be careful with your gasket. Just fit it down over everything. Make sure all your holes are lining up and everything. Now we can set this off to the side for a minute. Go ahead and put our float in and get it set. Here. Just hang that on the back just like that. Oh, well, let's back up here. Let me put this in. This is where the fuel comes into the carb at. It's got a new O-ring on there. This is where the fuel comes into the carb, and that's where your needle and seat go down in to cut off the flow of the fuel. So go ahead and snug that up. Now let's put the needle and seat on here on the float and get it set down in there. All right. Now with that set down in there, we'll need this bigger flathead screw put down beside it to hold that pin in. There we go. Now, seems everything's working good. Seems to be set a little high. Needs to be from this surface 1/8 to 3/16 from this surface to the top of your float when it's in the upright position, in the up position. So let me get my calipers here. I'm going to set these to 1/8, and then I can judge the gap from there. All right, let's push that in. Yeah, it's just under 1/8 there, just over 1/8 there. So we're good on the flow height. Everything is good there. All right, let's see here. That's all back together right. we can, yeah. Drawing a blank here for a second. All right, now let's just go ahead and slide all this back together. You got to line up all these pins on each side, going in different holes. Make sure everything seats down nice and smooth all the way around. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and put in the 3 short screws. Starting. Just snug them up for now. Alright, now we need to put this rubber boot back in here for the accelerator pump. Not necessarily easy to get down in there. There we go. Split on up on there. And put our shaft down through there. Make sure everything's good. There we go. That's in place. Now we'll go ahead and put the spring. Well, let's back up. Let's put in these, you've got 2 little springs and then two ball bearings, or 1 little spring and 2 ball bearings and 2 O-rings. Spring goes in the outside one here. Now let's go ahead and put our O-rings in. And they're both the same size. Everything should sit down in there. Drop our bearings in. Alright. Well, this one, the outer one, acts like a check valve. To stop it from flowing back into the bowl. Okay, let's see here. Now we'll go ahead and put the spring on. Oh, this goes into the cap here, and the spring goes between those. It's hard to put together that way, so what I like to do is set it down here, set the spring on it, then bring it all down together. And make sure you get it, you don't pinch it, you got to bring it all in together. Looks like I'm pinching it, so let's raise it back up for a minute. Yeah, it's got to be, a gasket got to be just right. There we go. You want it sitting down with a nice even gap all the way around. There we go. Now we can put in the other screws. And the long one. Set down nice. Now we can snug them up. Again, you're not over tightening any of these. You just don't want them to come out. Because you will strip them in that aluminum. Go ahead and tighten up the other 3 bolts. All right. Let's put in the bowl drain plug. Got to put a new O-ring on it. There we go. Snug that up. Huh. Forgot the little screw. The little O-ring. Okay. Hey, mistakes happen. Got to pay attention. That's why I lay everything out here, so that when I mess up, and inevitably I will, I can just, I'll know I got an extra couple of parts there. Actually, 2 O-rings I left out. The main one. That. All right. But we don't have to take the diaphragm back apart anyway, so. All right, pull that out. And that little O-ring goes right here. Well, it's important to lay everything out like you need it. All right, let's go back together with it. All right. All right. Then we got the one big O-ring that goes on the flange where it attaches to the intake manifold. I'll go ahead and put that in just a second when I get everything else on. Snug. Snug. 3 and 4. Okay. Now, all of that's right. Okay, let's go ahead and put in our fuel mixture screw here. All right, and the one for the accelerator pump. We'll get them both started, then we'll set them. All right, this one, both of these, you're going to want to screw all the way down just till it touches, real light. You don't want to overdo it. Because this one, when you screw it down, you'll be able to see it in here. It'll stick through just a little bit into the neck of the carburetor. But, all right, so let's get a good screwdriver. Run it down just till it stops. All right, then you're going to want to back it out. Initial setting will be backing it out where I like to set it is 1 1/4 rounds. So there's half, 1 1/4, and that one's set. On the accelerator pump, want to do the same thing with it. Run it all the way in till it stops. All right, then back it off 2 full rounds. Half, 1, half, 2. On the idle screw, I like to, what you'll want to do is you'll bring it in till it just touches, and then go 1 full round. So there's a half and 1. Now you can see a little bit of light through there. It should idle just fine. Now let's put the choke in, or enrichener. These what it does is allow more fuel into it instead of actually choking it. So we'll go ahead and run that down. The right wrench. Snug that up. All right, and everything working good there. The last gasket, last O-ring is this one on the face of it, that where it goes against the manifold. Go ahead and put that down in there. And this one's ready to be put back on the bike. And then you'll crank the bike and warm it up. The settings it's at now, it'll run. You'll want to crank the bike up, let it warm up, get it up to operating temperature, and then go through your adjustments and get it set right where you like it. That's going to do it for this episode. Any questions, anything, just leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thank you.